Afrobeats music is definitely one of the major exports of Nigeria's platform to the world. It's definitely by every means the biggest export that we've been able to uh, export out of Nigeria to the world. So if you're in Europe today, or you're in America, or you're in the Caribbean, or even in faraway Asia, you definitely listen to Afrobeats. And people are talking about Afrobeats right now because we've had spectacular artists over the last 20 years churning out albums, churning out singles that has made it very impactful and beautiful for people to listen to. Right now, we've got like the current set of guys who have been like the super major exports, in my opinion. We've got Ebon Olua, Damini Bulu, otherwise known as Burna Boy. Of course, you have David Adeleke, otherwise known as Davido, and of course, you've got Whiskey as well. Who are like the major, exports at the moment. Worthy to mention, of course, is Rema, Star. There's so many of them right now. But the point of this video is not to talk about what Afrobeats is doing right now. It's also important to note that before the reign of Burna Boy, Davido, Whiskey, Olamide, and the likes, we used to have some kings uh, in the industry. And of course, those kings were no other than, in no particular order, we had Two-Face Idibia, we had P Square, and of course, we had the Coco Master, African Michael Jackson, the band. Now, those guys also were like, they were a colossal, big boy stuff within in the Nigerian music industry at the time. However, before the reign or the prominence of Burna Boy, Davido, and Whiskey, or even the Coco Master, the band, and P Square, or even Two Face Idibia as a solo artist, there was a group, a musical group titled or called the Remedies. And at the time, they were made of three different people: Tony Tetrilla, Eddie Montana, and Idris Abdulkarim. They formed the Remedies. And what we are trying to talk about in this video, my friend and I, Coyote Badmus, is to really dissect to say, how did this group start? How did this group start, sorry? And just do a chronicle, a little bit of a chronicle between um, the yesteryears of the music industry up until what we have today, and of course, essentially to debate about the matter where Idris specifically said he started the group. I hope you guys have a great watch. Please enjoy it. Thank you.
Ní Áfíríkà, dákọ̀ ọmọ.
How far, bro?
I'm good, bro. How's it?
Any luck with Barrister Banji?
Banji? No, I wasn't able to reach out to him.
Okay.
In a second. One second. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Do. Man, you want him more fair.
Oh, man, you want him more fair. Baby, do me. You want him more fair.
Like, they tell you, we enjoy our Idris like that too. Rocket Man came just.
Rocket Man just came and took over the scene.
Rocket Man just came and busted everything like Idris was saying nonsense, and
Exactly.
Come to think of it, what did that bro say? Do it.
Give me some fufu.
You know. But then it was about the rhythm now. It was
It was
about the rhythm.
about the reading. It was. I think the music industry before the Remedies, even if a lot of people like to say hip hop started with people like Junior and Pretty,
You
a
see?
couple of other guys. What we were used to at the time was more of Shina Peters, Juju, Afro Juju, Sonny Ade, Ebenezer Obey, Juju. The Fuji sector, you had Barista, you had Collington, K1, The Ultimate, of course, Robert Keyboard, creator, Pasuma Wonder as well. And of course, a couple of them like that. Alex O, Felix Liberty. You had a couple of people, Blackie. A lot of people had tried different genres, and these guys came in on board and they blew the hip hop scene. So I think to what you were saying, Idris at the time gave us rap, because I think before we even started listening to rap, we just liked the melody. We probably had listened to Tupac, Notorious B.I.G., Maze, at the time.
Yes.
Music was beginning to be the Western world was beginning to influence our music, and then Idris capitalized on it and said, "Wow, mole shaking you now. They became better well so can there. So to well sorry. I can
At
do
that
it."
time, the Tower film was not even there. I think
No,
the Tower
Remedies, it wasn't there.
when he went solo. So the thing is, I also bought the idea of Junior and Pretty for a while.
Yeah.
Then I went back to check this music and listen very well. You see, then music globally was like hip hop R&B was a Western thing, America basically, US.
100%.
Then anything, the only music that successfully broke into the US market was reggae from the Bob Marley days.
Yes, and even Magic Fashet
Marley,
tried in a little way to break in.
so it was only reggae with the likes of the headliner was Bob Marley. Bob Marley
100%.
he died in 1986. But
Mm.
the idea was the
It's
only
80
music
or
they were,
81. Yeah.
I just know he died before I was born.
In the 80s.
The only music they were
Yeah.
selling outside their own music was reggae.
Mm-hmm.
So they tried playing reggae, but they couldn't, like Bob Marley, so they left it for the outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
Then Fela also, to a large extent, tried breaking into that market, and that was why even after the death of Bob Marley, in fact, okay, yeah, he died in early 80s, yeah, Bob Marley died in early 80s, and history has it that the reason why King Sunny Ade went international was because, was it Atlantic at the time? They wanted a replacement for Majek Fashek, for Bob Marley.
Okay.
So they wanted a replacement from outside the America. They wanted someone with a different sound from what they had. And that was why KSC was promoted in the US. In 83 was nominated for the Grammys. He had Aura, he had a couple of albums that were promoted in the US. But he didn't break into that market. So reggae was the only thing. So when modernization or foreign influence was entering into our music, it was only reggae that successfully entered our music. Apart from homegrown, what's it called? Creation genres, Fuji, Juju, Afro Juju, and of course Fela's Afrobeat. And Fela's Afrobeat was only being played by Fela. And a few people that tried, like Lagbaja. But Lagbaja was not an Afrobeat artist like per se. He had Fuji and Juju, Agidigbo. He had plenty of that in his music. He had plenty of the local mix in his music and stuff. But reggae was the only thing that was influencing that the younger ones had. And Junior and Pretty did not do hip hop, what's it called? This thing was more of raga. Although and Pretty rapped. Junior was a rapper to a large extent, but it was not hip hop. It was more of Ajegunle's Pangolo style. The foreign influence wasn't really much.
Let me see if I can even look them up. Which one? Bolanle, Mafi Misile o Bolanle. Ooh, K to Alakber.
Like
Yeah, I remember that one.
his sound was more of high life, reggae, raga, this thing.
Mhm.
Do you understand? In fact, it had more of high life
Yeah.
than hip hop.
Mhm.
So the early 90s started with K1 doing the 59 Alakpa, you know. Then Shino Peters
Afro
was
Juju, Shino Peters,
also
Igbati Wale,
Ayuba
X,
was there.
Shino
So
Mania, Bubble,
Ayuba and
Ayuba.
were like the artists for the young people then.
Yeah.
People that wanted funkified Fuji would take K1. Around 95, like this, K1 also just changed everything with consolidation.
Consolidation was super big.
Consolidation was a turning point for
Mhm.
but that was the kind of music we were used to.
Of course.
Blackie was raga, reggae.
Mhm.
We saw it was also in consolidation. Kwame and Blackie over combination. He
Yeah,
rapped.
yeah.
He
100%.
was rapping, but he does
Yeah.
reggae. So
Was more
reggae, to that extent, is a
Mm.
thin line between reggae and what's it called, rap also. That's why a white Clef can rap.
Yeah.
White Clef, in fact, you can barely state the kind of genre it does. But around that 95, 96, these younger guys were trying to also break into the music.
Mhm.
They were not Fuji artists. They were not Juju artists. They've been influenced by R&B to a large extent. They've been influenced by the hip hop culture. That was around the time when Tupac had been killed, Biggie had been killed, hip hop was everywhere. Puff Daddy was taking over. That was when Puff Daddy just took over in America. Then all of a sudden, then of course, we also, you see, this life, man. I'm not a Christian. I'm not really a religious person, but I can be spiritual. Sometimes some people's I don't know how you call it, people's this thing can be intertwined. Their destiny. Keke and D1 had just moved back to Nigeria. They were trying to create something fresh for younger people. The likes of Idris and many of these guys were all over the country trying to, do stuff. Idris was in Kano. He came to Lagos. He will meet up with this. In fact, so the hip hop community, so to say, was a very small community. They all knew themselves. In the north, at the same time, in the north, we had people like Mode 9, 6 foot plus, all those guys from SWAT route, but they were just on the street doing their thing. Nobody thought of it being commercial. Everybody was in school. People were doing music in school. So for people like Idris, I don't think Idris was ever schooled in Lagos. If he went to school, I thought it would have been in Kano.
He probably doesn't have like an higher institution education, but that doesn't really matter today. Yeah.
I think I heard Tetula was in Offa Poly.
He was in Kwara State Polytechnic, Kwara State Polytechnic, I think in Ilorin, sorry, close to Ilorin, but not, it was school in Kwara, 100%.
So for some
and
reason,
Eddie Montana schooled in Yabate.
So I think that was the Idris connection to that axis. Yaba, the what's it called? The capital of entertainment at the time was Yaba Surulere.
Gosh, 100%, no doubt.
Before
maybe Keja eventually with Motherland, Lagbaja in Motherland and all of that stuff. But yeah,
well,
Yaba Surulere, mainland, of course.
Like I keep saying, I tell people, if Lagbaja releases a track today, old people will listen to it, young people will listen to it. Lagbaja has always been like that. It's always been like a bridge between. In fact, more younger people listen to Coco Below more than the older folks.
Don't get it twisted. Now there are a lot of younger people now. So now I mean, of course, we are millennials, we're getting closer to 40. Well, you see the younger folks, the people in their 20s, their early 20s, they probably don't even know who Lagbaja is. And I stand to be corrected.
I agree.
The Gen Zs and the younger folks now, they are a different breed entirely. But anyways, let's get the issue out of it.
But I'm talking about younger folks as we had them during the Idris, the Tetula days. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So Lagbaja was supposed to be an older artist, but he appealed a lot to.
He was able to bridge the gap. He appealed to every side of the divide.
So Shakomo came and changed everything. In fact, we can call Shakomo the first Afro hip hop or Niger hip hop song.
Or even if the OGs would not want to admit, because this is why I actually said let's have this conversation, because there's a lot of things we can learn about this. And at this point, I'm thinking, should we actually switch to Instagram Live or whatever? Anyway, so the thing is, if you have watched Ayo Shonaya's Afrobeats on Netflix, he
Okay.
tried to chronicle the events that shaped Afrobeats into what it is, as at the time the documentary was released, which was, I think, 2 years ago. It was done before Sound Sultan died, so maybe about 2 or 3 years ago. And of course, they gave credit to Junior and Pretty, and the people like them, Daddy Shoki, and a lot of people would want to let you understand that this thing had been blurry. But in my own humble opinion, when it comes to modern hip hop, if we want to give credit to who really projected it to be really beautiful and something that everyone wanted to listen to, I think if we should give it to the Remedies. They actually, they blew the scene. They changed the narrative and made rap and whatever pop, Afro, whatever genre we want to call it. They made it appealing to the youth, sort of. Yeah.
Shoki is an OG.
Of course.
The first time I saw Daddy Shoki as a child, it was in a song with Daddy Fresh.
Of course, back in the day. By the way, yeah.
And that song was like R&B reggae.
Yeah, he actually even said he started rap.
Daddy Shoki, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He tried to rap on the song. In fact, he was rapping on the song. He rapped, he did rap. But it's not a rap song. Daddy Fresh went on to be a reggae artist. Daddy Shoki entered Galala, which is reggae, Nigerian version of reggae. So there is no way you can credit these guys for bringing hip hop. There was Daniel Wilson. Daniel Wilson had just call me Daniel Wilson.
Yeah, there were a couple of people that tried to morph something.
These are songs that sounded like R&B, but them they said they were doing reggae. What's his name? There was the reggae legend I mentioned. We're talking about
Magic Fashek.
No.
Raskimono. Oh, Bob Marley.
Bob Marley was like the watch guy. Was the what's it called now? Was their mentor. It was inspiration for many of these guys. So they just created a lot of genres from that aspect of music.
I don't even think they knew what genres they were creating. They were just doing whatever.
Like Richard now coming to say is Afrobeat or whatever. But we know Richard Femi, especially when he was doing his early days.
Yeah, in his group.
Was a raga galala kind of person. But like I keep saying, there's a very thin line between that sound and what eventually led into hip hop. But I will tell you, Junior and Pretty were not playing hip hop.
Anyways, yeah.
Junior was rapping. Junior rapped. It's the same way that Shoki rapped before then. It's the same way. We've had a lot of people. Even Shina Peters rap now. Do you remember that song?
Yes, I do.
That's rapped. So as in you can impute any genre in your kind of song. It doesn't mean that's what you are playing. So the first what will, as in I don't know, except they will bring another song or tell me one of these other hip hop songs that we know, Nigerian hip hop songs that we know came out before Shakomo. But if no song can be brought out to say this was released before Shakomo is the first Afro hip hop song in Nigeria, and that was what changed the levels. That was what gingered every other person. All the other ones were just doing music and they were performing in schools and stuff. Most of them did not even have.
Yeah. Don't worry,
Second.
Turn to Baby. I mean, of course, we all know all of that.
So most of them didn't have any song on air. Then if you don't have a song on radio, you are not a professional artist. You have a song on radio. And the first thing, and that's why I say the destiny of Remedies, irrespective of anything anybody wants to say, then Keke came after. Then I'm not really a fan of Keke anyway. But you cannot remove the story of Remedies away from Keke and D1. You see what Keke and D1 did, because more or less AIT Jams that later turned into Prime Time was like the only entertainment show for young people at the time.
Yeah. And then at that time, if you remember, not like we had any options anyways. Ray Power actually started the first station that started 24 hours broadcasting in Nigeria. And when AIT came in, and that was in September 1, 1994. And then when AIT came in, maybe about 2 years after that, or 2 to 3 years after that, between 96 and 97, or between 95 and 97, they also started 24-hour TV broadcasting. If you remember, before then, NTA Channel 10 in Lagos, NTA Channel 2, NTA 2 Channel 5, NTA 7, and all of the channels that we had at the time, Clapperboard, DB, and all of them.
There was DBN, yeah.
Yeah, there was Muri International, MITV, and all of those guys.
No, Muri did not come before AIT.
Muri came maybe, yeah, Muri probably came. I can't remember who came in first, but I think there was Clapperboard and DBN before AIT.
There was Clapperboard and DBN, yeah.
Yeah, but the point I was trying to make was 4 o'clock. That's when the TV would start. Like there'll be yellow, green, blue lines, and then the national anthem, and then the TV would start. And then afterwards, at 11 o'clock or 12 midnight, everybody's going to shut down. There'll be national anthem, and that was how we used to operate. So we had very few options. So when Keke and D1 came, apparently they came back from the US. They had the swag. They used to dress really nice, and then we had limited options
for the time.
At that time. And of course, Keke being brother-in-law to the Aligo Dokpesi of blessed memory, he was able to, present a case for himself. They got into studio and they were able to catch everyone's attention. Don't forget, we didn't have any option. And one thing these guys had was media, and they were pouring people's faces like this.
It's unfair to want to pay like Keke and D1 had airtime because they were related to listen, they had content.
No, I'm not saying it's unfair. I'm not no. Maybe it's misconception.
And whether
they had content,
anybody
100%.
like not,
but they leveraged
what they brought to the table, what that did for Ray Power and AIT cannot be quantified. You see,
100%.
at the time when Ray Power took over, the only say, please, I'm having a recording. You guys should go to sit room and continue playing, please. Thank you. Please go now. Kire. Thank you. There was OGBC.
Gosh.
OGBC was where the Benga Adeboyes, Kola Olotus, the other names like that.
Even you had the Nkaye fella, you had Nkombe, what's his name? That's a journalist. That was an investigative journalist, anyways.
All of them were in OGBC. So OGBC was the go-to station.
Yeah, for broadcasting. Radio broadcasting. Started from OGBC.
Femi Aderebigbe, Kwame of Nigeria.
Yeah.
Was also in OGBC at the time.
Yeah.
OGBC was the in thing. So
OGBC.
This thing of the coming on board of AIT and Ray Power and what the Keke brought to be. It's
just 1 minute, right? Yeah.
Don't call me here. Stand up. Don't come to the room. Don't leave here. I'll beat you. Huh? Please. I'm back. Okay. So invariably, the point I was trying to make is the fact that Keke and D1 had a whole lot of value to Ray Power. And from what we've heard, Keke was the major ginger for the late Dr. C to get a TV license. There are content that we can create, you can get the young people of this world, people are tired. Then NTA5 was the closest to having something youth-centric. Had more of
we used to tell match, cartoons, all those drama so much. And a little bit of few shows here and there.
But and then DBN had a lot of movies. DBN didn't content. They had a little sport, but they just really showing movies and stuff. What AIT brought to the table was content. They had local content.
They made it. I don't mean like the name called it Ray Power in the radio sense.
Now young people were used to it is hardcore local. Listen to and juju or strictly foreign music.
NTA Channel 7, that was what hardcore local was for.
So AIT started with foreign music and stuff, but with time,
they mocked it to AIT and made it more like African.
And similarities of this world now started bringing up these guys, and that was why Idris and Tetula and the likes coming into the picture was like it was the right time. Even most of the videos then were shot in AIT studios now.
Yeah.
The eventual recording for Shakomo was also recorded in AIT studio, Ray Power studio or something. So from what we've read, so not to even divert or whatever, the crux of the matter is Idris, Tetula, and the Remedy, called the Remedies at the time, are instrumental to what we now call Afrobeats now.
100%. I agree. They changed the narrative, they changed the scene.
And then it was so younger people wanted to do music, were able to tell themselves, oh, we can do this 4-minute track kind of thing. We have a chorus, we sing verse 1, do chorus, sing verse 2, do chorus, sing verse 3, do chorus. And that was why it was even easy for a whole lot of groups then came in they were a trio. They came in threes. So each person, each member would take one verse.
Must write their verse.
So the major thing was the person that would do chorus. They just needed somebody with a voice. And that was one of the things that worked against Tetula at the time, because it was seen as he didn't have a voice. His voice was not really on point. Remedy had the voice. He could sing. Idris could rap. In fact, recently I was telling my wife, if we had to look at it, forget the fact that Idris was the face. If we had to look at it, Remedy is actually Remedies. When you hear the jams and all those his ad-libs and his verses, Eddie gave life. Me, I'm a fan of Idris. I've always been a fan of Idris. Let's face reality. Idris was the main guy.
Yeah.
Idris was the main guy. But Eddie was more or less the wire, the lifeline of the group. Because then it was about the chorus. And Shakomo till any day is about the chorus. That was why we did not pay attention to whatever Idris was saying. We're just enjoying the reading, enjoy the rhymes, and just wait until his 16 bar, 8 bars, or whatever he was doing was over, and we jump to the chorus.
All right.
So
should we switch to should we switch to IG Live? What do you think?
Oh, okay. That's right. We'll almost start from the beginning again. But
No, we'll start from the beginning. We'll now morph it up into what's happening today, because I wanted us to learn. I wanted people, just share learnings from what's happening today. And so let me quickly download the app and see how that goes.